myself, Professor Naveed Akhtar Mirza from Maulana Mukhtar Ahmad Nadwi Technical Campus. So this lecture number 57 of SD1 is running, and uh, we have completed around 5.5 unit, and part B of unit number 5 is running. It may be completed in next week. Only last unit will remain after next week. And there are backlog or improvement examination for you. Also some oral practical for backlog students are running. Tomorrow the oral examination for the backlog SD1 students in 2019-20. So their exam will be tomorrow. If you know anyone, then inform to them to join uh, the oral. Uh, I will share the link to them. I'm already informed to them, and also if your colleagues are there, and then inform to them. This unit number 1 is nothing but the introduction of your steel structure. Steel as a structural member, and many codes in design of steel structure we can see. First of all, before going for design, we should know the forces or members. The forces, it may be the axial force, it may be the bending moment, shear force, torsional moments, etc., acting on the different members of a structure. And which member we are going to design, we have to analyze that member first. Analysis means we have to find out the loads, forces, reactions coming on that member, and based on that reaction and forces we have to design the member. The first step is nothing but to analyze the member and find out the shear force, bending moment, uh, and other forces acting on the member. It may be static, it may be dynamic. Static means the load permanent acting on the member without motion. There is no motion. If dynamic load, if you consider, so it may be the wind, it may be the earthquake. Sometimes it happens in a 50 years or 100 years, or the moving parts in the buildings or the bridges, that is the dynamic loads. Or if there is water retaining structure, then there is also the dynamic loadings are there. So dynamic loading, they are varying with the time, but the static loading, they are not varying, they are continuously on the member or structure. Thereafter the analyzation, then we will go for the design phase. And in design we are considering many such factor of safety for proper design or proper behavior of the structural member. Then to join the member, the connection is necessary, and we also see in unit number 4 the design of connection. Also in unit number 1, some basic design requirement as per the IS code for bolted connection and welded connection we have seen. Then steel is considered as a ductile material. It can be malleable, and it is ductile, and it is strong in tension. Also, it is fit for the plastic hinge formation. Hence, then steel is considered as a structural member if there is tension on your members. So steel is strong in tension, its properties of ductility and malleability and large deformation failure is considered here, and that's why steel is taken as or considered as a structural element when you have large tension. Also, its weight to section ratio is very less as compared to the another structural member or CC if you consider or wood or other type of structural member. The structural members dimension are cylinder in case of steel structure. That's why in tension we do not need to care too much, but in case of compressive force or bending compression, if buckling we are considering for design consideration for your structural steel. Then we will see in the methods of design in unit number 1, the methods of design. There are many such methods adopted earlier by the designer. The working stress method, ultimate load method, and then come into picture the limit state method. Now we are adopting in our IS code. So working stress method, traditional method of design, and only steel stresses considered, uh, some permissible limits, and the structural material is behave up to its elastic limit only or up to the working load only. So in that case, working stress method, since only permissible stresses are considered as a limiting value and some factor of safety are applied, and that factor of safety is uh, again applied randomly. It is not properly justified with that 1.5, 1.67, 1.7, 1.8, sometimes 2, like that. Any abrupt value they are taking and uh, providing a safety factor for the working stress method. So the cross section dimensionals are very large in working stress method, and the design is very uneconomical. That is the drawback in working stress method. Then the designer, uh, they think that why we are not taking the ultimate load as a design criteria, why linear and why elastic limit only. Then here they are evolved the ultimate load method, and the designer they are adopting the ultimate stress with some factor of safety as a design consideration. But what happened in ultimate load when they are taking the ultimate load, the members they are coming very slender, and due to slender they fail in serviceability. Any excessive deflection are there into the structural member, excessive deformation or vibrations are there in the structural member, so they are not fit for use. Still they are stand still, they are not collapsing, but due to fear the people they are not using that structure. So that is the drawback in ultimate load method, that the structural elements are very thin and slender and economical, but that are not usable, and we can say that they fail in serviceability. Then the designer they adopted uh, the third method. Now we are using that is limit state method. In that case, what is that? The limit state is fixed for all for strength. Then limit state is fixed for the serviceability. Uh, Also, the factor of safety are divided uh, into part. that is one is for the partial safety factor for load and partial safety factor for material, because load and uh, material, they are another constraint, they are not related to each other. Hence the partial safety factor is introduced in the limit state method of design. And limit state method is divided into limit state of strength, limit state of serviceability, limit state of durability. So all the limit state, they are considered for the design of this. Uh, so this differentiation I have made here in this, and notes are also shared with you. So you can see and you can use. Okay. Then different steel sections we are using for our as a structural element, and they are rolled steel sections, or they are sometimes built up section. They are prepared with the plate elements, but generally rolled steel sections, hot rolled steel sections are preferred if there is large load and for proper designing, and they are very good and the behavior is very good. So different types of rolled steel section, it may be I section, Indian standard, I beam, you can see. So this figure you can see, this is I section, also you are drawn in your sheet number 1. If the light beam is there, then the designation will be ISLB, that's Indian standard light beam, ISJB, Indian standard junior beam, ISMB, Indian standard medium beam, and ISHB, Indian standard heavy beam. And after that, that value 400, 350, 200 is nothing but the overall depth of section in case of I section. Then T section, the shape is nothing but half I, it is nothing but your T section, like this. They are also considered an angle section. Angle section, you know, it is some like a L, and that is called as angle section. And different other sections are yani, available. Rolled steel section, it may be round bar, it may be square bar, uh, it may be flat element, it may be the angle section, it may be two jointing angle section with the channel, or channel with the I section in some cases, and also some twice, two or three you can section join together and create a built-up section, and uh, you can use that. The partial safety factor for material and partial safety factor for load is given in your IS code in table number 4 and 5. So that's why every time I'm telling you that you should use IS code while doing the design calculation. So these IS code, this is IS 800 2007, is nothing but the guideline for design of the structural engineer or the designer. Uh, and this code is for the general steel construction, that is code of practice IS 800 2007 we are using regularly for design of steel structure. Also in unit number 1 we have seen the different types of joints by joining the structural element, because the member forces are to be transferred one element to the another element through the connections only. So in design of any structure, the connection design also, or connection or design of the joints are very important So generally, in steel structure also previously the rivet structure and pin connections they are mostly used. Then bolted connection and welded connections are also used. So by doing the making a joint between the member, we are doing the connection with the riveted pin connection. Generally, you have seen the bridges of railways or bridges for roller connection. The pin jointed are there, and the bolted connection and welded connection. And our code generally prefer the bolted connection and the welded connections and riveted connection. Earlier you can see in the railway structures, railway bridges and another uh, previously trusses you make with the flats or angles, they are riveted connection. But nowadays only we are preferring the bolted or welded connections. And also we have seen what is the area of plane area and what is the area at root, that is net area of the your bolt, and you have started the design of bolted connection unit number one. In that case, we have seen the two different types of bolts are available generally: unfinished, black, common, fully threaded. These are nothing but the unfinished bolt or common bolt they are called, or sometimes they are also called as a rough bolt. So they are used for the static structures, fully threaded, and if the light weight or loads are there or reactions are there. But if loads are large and the dynamic loading is there, then we are going for the high strength bolt, friction grip bolts, and that is used for high strength bolted connections. And all these things we have seen. Also, from the grade of bolt given, how to find out the ultimate load, how to find out the this yield stress, how to find the ultimate stress. And uh, then we have seen the different types of grades of bolt are there. You can see here this grade of bolts are 3.6, 4.6, 4.8, 5.6, 5.8, 6.8, 8.8. So their properties and how, what is the yield strength and what is the ultimate tensile strength, you can find. Who is this Epsam Anjum? Who is this? Epsam Anjum, who is this? Hello? Who is this Epsam Anjum? Please. Otherwise, I will remove him. I told you that you should join with your roll number and name. Otherwise, I will not accept them. You should put your name, your roll number when you are joining. Don't use such type of name that will create a doubt into the faculty. Okay? Then we have seen the types of joints. There are two types of joint, mostly lap joint and butt joint. And we have also seen the design of these joints. Many such examples we have seen, and what are the failure. Most of these joints: shear failure, tension failure, bearing failure of bolt, bearing failure of plate, tension failure of bolt, tension or tearing failure of plate. And also we have seen the block shear failure. Also you have drawn the figure for the block shear failures for plate and angle elements. Then we have seen the different terminology used for the bolted connection. That is, what is the pitch of the bolt, what is the edge distance, what are the gauge distance, what are the end distance. These all terminologies we are seen earlier. What is pitch? Distance between the two consecutive bolts in the direction of stress. Perpendicular of direction of stress, center to center distance between the bolt is nothing but your gauge distance, and end distance, end of the plate to the last or first bolt, that is end distance in the direction of stress, and if it is in direction or perpendicular to direction of stress, that is the edge distance. And also we have seen how to find out the end distance, edge distance, what are they, their criteria in IS code, minimum edge or end distance, how to find out what is the maximum edge distance, what is distance. All these values we have seen in our IS code in chapter number 10. The chapter number 10 of your IS code is nothing but with this connections. So you have seen this. No need of any showing any time that chapter number 10, you know it is starting from the page number something 73, or so you can go for that section, that here so you can say section 10 is for connection, and all these values for connection of how to take a minimum pitch, what is the clearance for the bolt hole as per the diameter of bolt is given in table number 19. Then clauses are given from 10.2.3 for the bolted connection, and then design shearing strength of bolt 10.3.3 and 10.3.4, 10.3.5. These are the uh, 10.3.6. These are the design strength for the bolted connection. Then friction grip bolt, type bolting also their clauses are there in IS code in page number 76. Also we have seen the criteria for the welded connection also. What is the minimum size of first run of single run fillet weld? As per the size of thicker plate, thickness of thicker part of the plate, it is the minimum size of weld is decided. Also, how to find out the throat thickness? We are seen from this clauses. Clauses are given in 10.5.3 for effective thread thickness. Then the values of K factor for the different angle between the fusion faces in case of your welded joint. Okay. Then lots of how to find out the design strength of fillet weld we have seen in the connection. Then what is the maximum size of fillet weld from this figure on page number 80, that is 17A, 17B, and at the rectangular edge, at the circular or any round edge. And equating these two equations, we can easily find out the strength of fillet weld. And then also the but design of butt weld is not in scope. Generally, fillet weld design are asked in the examination and the scope of your syllabus in steel structure. Okay, so these are the some clauses for the welded design connection we have seen in the our this unit number 1, and also some example we have seen how to find out the net area of plate, net area of angle section, and uh, in case of bolted connection, in case of welded connection, and also effective net area we have seen there. Also we have solved the example on the bolted connection, how to find out the different strength of bolt in case of bolted connection, and how to find out weld value, how to find out the efficiency. This all we already covered in our lectures. This red mark shows that we are covered in the lectures. So these examples are covered and these notes also shared to you. So kindly take benefit and do practice, because it is very vast syllabus, and for solving one example it require much large time if you are not studying. If you are doing the practice, though you don't need much time to solve the example. But if you are not doing the practice at your home, then this is required very large time, and the time will be very less to solve the for all questions. So we have seen these examples on bolted and welded connection, and also the joint design we have done at member of truss, how to joint design are done. This example also we have covered, and many such examples we have done in unit number 1. Also in welded connection, we can achieve 100% efficiency in welded connection. We have seen the differences, because in a welded connection there is no hole and there is no reduction of the area that resists the forces. Hence the efficiency of the welded connections are large. But in case of bolted connection, we are doing the hole. That hole will reduce the efficiency of your member. Okay. So sometime we are using the combination of these two connections as per the requirement, and as per the stability, and as per the maintenance criteria. So all these terms are using, they are necessary, and there are some advantages and disadvantages of this connection. It is listed here, and then the types of welds and welded joint connections examples we have solved. Okay. Then we come to the in unit number 1, the design of tension member. So design of tension member consists of only three criteria, that is design uh, strength due to yielding of the cross section, then design strength in rupture of the uh, section or member, and uh, last one we have seen the uh, design strength due to block shear failure, or you can see. So these four four type three types of only failure are there, and to resist that failure, so failure due to cross section yielding. So to resist the yielding, we are finding out the design tensile strength due to cross section yielding. Then failure due to neck section rupture. So how we are also checking for the design strength in net section, and then block shear failure. So that what is the effective net area we are also find out, and it is also given in your IS code in section number 5, I think so, for design of tension member. If you go, so you can see there all these formulas and clauses are given. So I think section number 6 is there for design of tension member. Here you can see the page number 32, the section number 6, design of tension member, and all the formula is given in your IS code. You don't remember, if remember, that is good. So design strength due to yielding of the cross section, TDG is equal to AGFY upon gamma m0, and all these values you can find from the steel table and IS code, and put the value and you will find out the design strength in yielding. Then design strength due to rupture of critical section. In case of plates, the this is the formula we can use. And in case of angle section, you can go for this beta formula, or sometimes we are using the alpha formula. This alpha formula you can use anyone, but preliminary sizing of this alpha formula is okay, but generally for design purpose we are going for this beta formula, that is TDN is equal to 0.9 ANCFU upon gamma m1 and plus beta AG0, AG0 any outstanding leg. In angle section there is two legs, one leg that is connected with the connection, and another one is the outstanding leg that is not connected, and sometimes that both legs are connected. So that's why as per the your connection you have to find out the block shear failure for single angle or double angle, and then you have to find out the design strength due to block shear. So these three types of strength there, and then if staggered type of bolt if you are using, then net area you can find out from this formula that is given in your page number 33. Okay. So this is nothing but design strength in tension member. So many such example we have seen for design of tension member, and also we have many examples we have solved to find out the critical path, failure, critical failure path in case of tension member, and how to find out net area of angle also we have done, how to find out the net area of bolt, net area of plate, that is also example you are completed. If you are studying and any doubt, any type of doubt, you can feel freely to ask with me, and study at home regularly. Okay, do not hesitate uh, to share your problems, and if you are studying then only the doubts will create. If you are not studying, the doubt will not create. So I request all of you study regularly at the home. This unit, this subject is very vast, and it required very lots of practice. If you have to solve in a time constraint, uh, then you have to do lots of practice for that. Then determine the net area in case of angle section if both legs are connected. That also we have seen how to find out the net area in case of angle section. There are two uh, any legs are there, leg 1 and leg 2, and how the connection you are making from that you can find out the critical path. Then you have seen the example on design of your angle tension member in case of angle member. So it is very easy. You can find out the uh, yani, prepare the figure how the how the connection is there with the gusset plate or member to member, and then how will be the failures, and you have to strengthen that failure in case of tension member design. So first you have to if you bolted connection there, then which type of bolt we are using, that should be selected, that should be decided. So it may be 16 mm, 12 mm. Then you have to decide the diameter of hole as per the table number 19 of IS code just now we have seen. And then you have to find out the net area. Net area is nothing but if one leg is connected or is not connected, then ANC and AG0 you have to find out. First you have to find out the area of connected leg, then you have to find out the area of outstanding leg, and by adding 2 you get the net area of that member. Okay, and for Preliminary sizing of the member, you can go for this ANE, alpha into AN, and you can get the net effective area of that angle. Okay, so that is nothing but you can find out, and then by using different formula you can design. So this just a simple example, and then we are designing the double angle connected with this. And also you see in the theory part, by strengthening that failure, design strength due to yielding of rough section, design strength due to rupture of the net section TDN, design strength due to block shear failure TDB, and in TDB there is TDB1 and TDB2. So all this formula, design strength due to yielding, it is given in your ASPOD just now we have seen here, and TDN formula for angle section and preliminary sizing is also given in page number 33 of your ASPOD. Okay, so this formula, this is for plate and this is for angle, this beta you have to find out, and for finding out beta you should know this figure here, how much is the length of connection, what is W and what is WI and what is BS. Okay, all this value you required here to find out the beta value, है ना, for the outstanding leg. So W by T, Fy by Fu, Bs by Lc. Lc is the length of connection in, and the distance between the first bolt to the last bolt is nothing but your Lc. And Bs you can find out from this figure, that is W plus Wi minus T by 2 minus T by 2, that is nothing but minus T. So likewise you have to calculate this beta value, and then block shear failure TDB1, TDB2 you have to find out. It is nothing but in TDB1 shear yielding, tension rupture, in TDB2 because in case of block shear both phases are there, shear failure and tension failure both are there. That's why it is called as block shear failure. So we have to consider both phases, shear phase and tension phase. So in one case we can consider shear yielding and tension rupture, and another case we are considering tension yielding and shear rupture, vice versa. That's why in block shear failure, tensile strength it is TDB1 and TDB2 has to be find out. And then from all these four values, which one is the minimum? That is nothing but design strength of that angle or that channel or that eye or that plates. Then you have seen the simple example and also seen how to draw the block shear failure pattern, because it is very necessary. Then only you can find out the area in shear, area in tension after drawing the this block shear diagram or block shear failure diagram. So here first you have to find out design strength of tension member TDG, TDN, TDB. In TDB there is two, 1 and 2. So TDG you can find out the value is write down. Then TDN you have to find out by finding the ANC, FU, gamma M0, beta value, AG0, FY, gamma M0, and put all this value you will get the TDN value. And how to find out W, WI, how to find out LC, all this we have seen while solving the example on tension member. So this is very good, and you can do at your home also, and try to solve maximum examples from the question paper of previous years. If you have any doubt, you can ask freely to me on personal WhatsApp number, through email, and you can meet with the safety by taking care of this coronavirus, and you can ask with me and you can clear your doubt. For this, you can find out the design of tension member, and from all these four values, which one is the minimum is nothing but design strength of your tension member. So this is nothing but your unit number 1 revision. design of tension member. So still, if you have any doubt, we have completed is two earlier before 3 month or 4 month. Just read the clauses and you can easily design the members. Then the lug angles are there, splices are there, and this we have seen in design. Then there are different type of problems, analysis type problem, design type problem. Loads are find out and forces are to be calculated. So that is the analysis type of problem if you have to find out the load. If a load are given and you have to sizing of member is to be done, that is design type of problem. So these two basic type of problem exist, and then many such example we have solved. And also this solved example you can see in use design is of steel structure by S.K. Bigwell Limited, design of steel structure, and design of steel structure by N. Subramaniam. These are very these two books are very good. And in that books, MCQs questions are also given at the end. And in S.K. Duggal book, any University of Steel Design, there is also given very uh, good question answers at the last, at the end, and and many such questions are available for practice also in both the books. So these reference and textbook you can use for your study, and they are very nice, and most of books are available in our library. Use that books, take from the library and make your own notes, and that will help you. You can also use my notes. I'm already shared with all the students on WhatsApp group, and also some student have given through the email. So you can use that notes and study well at your own. And if any doubt, any case, any kind of doubt with you, you can ask with me. Also, you have the projects, many projects in uh, term work, design of plate girder and design of industrial building. So you can start designing also, and you can come to me, decide the industrial building for your group. Minimum 4 member required in one group. We'll make the group with one team leader, and you have to complete the term work also. So this is the revision for our unit number 1. Already we have covered earlier, but it is necessary because the student maybe not remember whatever earlier done. So thank you for listening very patiently, uh, and keep doing the online lectures. Your examination, which type of examination will be conducted from the university. Still not, it may be in same examination, then you have to do theoretical part. And if MCQs are there, then you have to prepare for that also. If you are reading the IS code and the books I have told just now, that is N. Subramaniam and the S.K. Duggal book, and IS code, then you you will able to clear any type of examination will be taken from the university. So I thanks all of you for joining the lecture and listening patiently. Uh, you can say your colleagues also they are not able to join online lecture, and also you can encourage them that they should join the lecture properly. Okay, thank you for today's lecture, revision class on unit number 1. I will share this link also on YouTube, and you can refer this lecture, and you can take benefit from the these examples and lectures. Okay, thank you for today joining, and any kind of you will feel free to ask with me on my WhatsApp number or through the email. Thank you.